Well, welcome everybody. My name is CJ.
And I'm Tim.
And this is the Say It Loud podcast.
Say it loud.
I'm black and I'm proud.
Yeah.
That ain't part of the title, but I am.
Yeah, same here.
Man, so this is a new podcast that we're starting. Originally it was going to be called Two Black Guys Talking, because that's what we are as well.
Yep.
But we figured Say It Loud had a better ring.
Yes, it did.
So I hope you guys join us from where we come on. We probably going to be releasing short segments. Probably 15 minutes, for some, and then an hour for others,
Right.
So today we're gonna talk about what everybody been talking about.
Everybody.
Okay.
We're going to get right into it. The Dave Chappelle stand-up.
Sticks and Stones.
Sticks and Stones.
Okay. If you haven't seen it, you behind the times.
You are behind.
Okay.
Drop what you're doing and watch this.
Yeah. Spoilers ahead. Okay. We're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna say the jokes because they're out now.
I'm going to give you a spoiler alert right now. So if you keep watching and you ain't seen it yet, it's your fault.
Your fault.
Your fault.
And also, because this is such a big thing in the media and people are being outraged about stuff, I think it's important for us to say that our opinions are our opinions.
Yep.
I don't even know all of Tim's opinions on everything. We haven't had a full-blown conversation about this, but we both was like, we should talk about this.
Yeah, the opinions made on the Say It Loud podcast are those of CJ and Tim alone. CJ and Tim alone.
Yes. Okay.
And do not reflect those of the people at large.
No. Okay. And I'm talking about nobody. My family don't reflect them.
No, don't reflect
my church, it don't reflect them.
Don't reflect them at all.
Okay. It reflects my
coming
views.
from up in here, all up in here.
Okay. So first of all, the opening. I'm not gonna lie. When he opened with the Prince 99,
Yeah.
it threw me for a loop. I didn't get it at first. I really didn't. Then once I ran it back and I was like, listen to it, and I was like, oh man, subliminal messages all through that.
All through that,
you know. But that caught me off guard. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
You know?
It was brilliant when he opened with the Prince lines, and then he started talking about Anthony Bourdain, and that always struck me because I just, with the issues with suicide. I mean, going back to Robin Williams and all the other celebrities, you would think that as involved as their life was, and them being celebrities, you would think they would have no reason to want to kill themselves.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing. That's what you think. I mean, I think so much of the perception or what people think of others, it's so surface. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have the money, and for those of us who don't have money like that, and have issues, we think that money can solve some of those issues, which it can. But you still got your, other issues going on. So you look at these celebrities and think, oh, they don't have anything.
Yeah, and Anthony Bourdain was the last person I would thought would ever want to commit suicide. I didn't even know what he was going on with Anthony Bourdain until they showed it on the news. I was like, wait, he was dealing with that?
Yeah, man. And Dave Chappelle, and I just want to, the way Dave Chappelle constructs the joke is genius level stuff.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Man, and because you take Anthony Bourdain and he says why this guy should have had the perfect life and why all of us would think he has the perfect life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, flips it to talk about his homeboy.
Right.
Which was genius.
Right.
Didn't see that coming at all.
Not at all. Not at all. And after he finished talking about his friend, you think wow, he really had a reason to, but he didn't. Yeah. He continued to work at, Foot Locker and be the manager there.
He said, dressed like a referee the whole time.
The whole thing. The referee, the shirt, and everything. That's funny.
Yeah, man. So the next joke after that, the impressions.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one, so here's my theory.
Right.
I feel like he knew he was finna do some real stuff on the second one.
Right.
So the first one, in my mind, was just like something dumb and insignificant. I didn't get this first part.
Oh.
Or the first impression.
Oh, I got the first impression.
I mean, I got it, but I didn't get the joke in it.
Yeah, because,
So you haven't seen. He's like,
because I guess he was saying that back then white men created the Constitution, but the African Americans they actually wrote it.
Yeah,
and it wasn't built for them. So they thought it out and had them write it on paper.
And it says hurry up. Yeah. So I mean, I get it. I mean, maybe that was one of the things where I was telling you earlier where I saw. I didn't particularly think it was funny, but I see the humor. Like I got it.
Right.
But I was like, all right, that one's cool. But that second one,
if you ain't woke, it would have went right over your head. If you ain't woke, it would have went right. Bro, you wouldn't have thought twice about it. But because we woke.
Bro,
we actually thought about it.
Bro, let me tell you something. His number 2 impression.
Yeah.
When he started, duh, and I was like, okay, I feel like you could have done without the does, but I got it.
Yeah.
But boy, it was funny when he said, "Well, who am I?" And people said Trump. There was people who were saying Trump, and I think that was the best reaction he could have got because. His punchline to it was like, "No, that's you."
Yep.
And I was just like, "That's amazing."
Yeah, I think that's like every celebrity's like thought. It's like they can't be regular. They can't have to watch everything that they do. And if someone comes and looks in your past and digs up some dirt and say, "Oh, you did this back in 1988," and you need to dig it up. Now all of a sudden you're a bad person. That's how White Lee was talking about Kevin Hart.
Yeah, and I like how he rolled his. I mean, he was like, "Look, my people have been thrown under the bus or whatever." He was like, "Look, I'm gonna have their back."
Right.
What was it? And I think it was in one of his last stand-ups when he was said. Or no, I'm sorry, it was a clip I just saw on YouTube. But where he was saying with Kramer, he was like, "I think I'm 80%, comedian, 20% black." Because when Kramer flipped out, he was just like, "Kramer, you mother bitch!" He was like, "You can't do that." The black man was like, "Bruh." He said, but the comedian in the middle was like, "Hang in there, Kramer. Don't let him break you." And actually, I'm not a stand-up comedian, but I saw that. Like, I get it. So he's coming to bat for his people who he felt like were unjustly taken down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm with that. What was another part of it? I mean, I feel like I want to go in order, but you know what keeps coming to my mind?
Yeah.
Juicy Smouye.
Oh my God!
I cannot say his name regular now.
Justice for Juicy. That's funny.
Justice for Juicy. I should get a
T-shirt. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Man.
That's funny. And you know what's funny about that? It's just like with the OJ verdict. Black people had a consensus that knew he was lying. He was straight up lying. You saw right through that. Okay. Inspector Gadget could have figured that out.
I mean, it was such an elaborately detailed story. I mean, I guess you could have details if you went through it, but the details that popped up in this particular origin of the world, I'm like, Chicago?
You know how cold it is?
Bro, the way he broke down, the best part of that joke, I mean, Juicy Smouye is just going to forever make me chuckle. But when he was like, I felt bad for the police officer that had to take the report, that was the genius in the joke for me. He was like, 2 a.m., huh? Like, negative 16 degrees outside.
He's like, I had on.
All right.
Wait a second. Excuse me. Hold on. What was Kanye doing?
So my favorite part, even in that part, was when he said, "And where are we going? Subway. Sandwiches?" I was like, exactly. And who walking around at 2 or 3 a.m. with a rope? Bro, that's not a thing.
That's funny. Who was doing that? Who was doing it? And then he made a good point. He said, if you racist and homophobic, like, you're not watching Empire.
You knew his name off top. And knew who he was, but like, come on, bro. That whole story was trash. But it was entertaining, but it was trash.
It was trash. And then he was before that he was talking about Michael Jackson.
Okay.
No, we gonna get into it.
We gonna talk about it.
We gonna get into it.
So here's the thing. One, I absolutely love that he said, I'm going to say something I'm not supposed to say.
Right.
I love that. I don't even know why. That's such a minute thing. Of course, he was going to do it anyway. But to say that and just be like, hey, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was with that. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did not watch. I watched the first one, I think. I think I'm going to watch part of the first one. because I had already gotten the hype of what it was about, and I was like, I don't really need that on my spirit.
You didn't watch the second part?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't need that on my spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you. We are in Faith and Hustle Studios right now, and on the wall behind this camera is a picture of Michael Jackson. Listen, I'm not saying, before we get into Dave Chappelle's jokes, I'm not saying he did or he didn't. I'm saying I don't know him. Right. What I do know is Thriller. Okay? That's what I know. So, leave me alone. Okay? Now, when it comes to what Dave Chappelle said, here's, again, one of the things where I didn't think everything was funny, but I saw the humor in it. And me, when it comes to stand-up comedy, I'm really about your facial expressions. Right. Facial expressions crack me up. That's one of the reasons Kevin Hart's so funny to me. His facial expressions are hilarious. But Dave Chappelle, and again, it was like I laughed when I kind of felt bad laughing. But, he says, Michael Jackson, he's been dead for, 10, 11 years. And
in 10 years, he's got two new cases.
And then he said, right after he said, I'm not supposed to say this. Like, I don't believe these two. The look in his face is what made me laugh.
That's funny. It was genuine.
If that's the thing, it was genuine.
It was genuine.
And I was just like, oh, that's funny. And again, yes, you're not supposed to say that in this culture. But that brings up, and I guess the whole point of this stand-up, Sticks and Stones. Right. Are we too sensitive?
Right. Yeah, are we?
That's the question.
I think we are.
I think so too. And we, as a country. Yeah. Me, I'm honestly not that sensitive. No. But it just seems like if you look at Richard Pryor when he started really pushing the envelope, Eddie Murphy. You go back. Actually, I watched Delirious the other day. You watched Delirious and Raw, and bruh.
Not even Raw, because Raw was on Raw was almost X-rated.
Yes, I remember.
It was like 2-3 lines from being X-rated. I watched an interview with Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans. They was talking about they was writing it. The rating people or whatever, they said it was almost X-rated. They had to cut a few jokes out just to get it barely under R. Yeah. And I'm looking at Delirious, and he had all those jokes about the gay people. I was like, you can't play that. He had a lot. That's why it ain't on Netflix, because you can't play that right now. Man. But look at the time it came out, though.
Exactly. So you think about that and how it was at least socially acceptable to talk about and make fun of everything, including that. Right,
because the concept and lifestyle of being gay, it was still fresh.
Yeah, it was
still fresh and new. So there wasn't a whole community of people. It wasn't TV shows with gay people. It wasn't shirts and parades with gay people. Yeah. It was just like a new thing. People wrote it off as a fad, basically.
Oh well, I don't know, because now in the '80s I was born.
Yeah, I was born in '84. But I'm saying,
you old? I was born in '85. Okay, 85. No, I think it was definitely more socially acceptable to at least talk about and make fun of. I think now Dave Chappelle had such a point with that first joke about this is you guys, and I really think it was dope that he went and he tackled it head on. Right. And I'm not gonna lie to you that so I watched the intro, or not the intro. What was the thing? What do you call it? The commercial for it? And I watched it. And I just saw. I was like, okay, it's a commercial, and Morgan Freeman and he's talking and stuff. But after I watched the special, and then I rewatched that commercial at the end of it, where it was just like, it's either say nothing or risk everything or whatever the quote was. I fully understood what that meant. I was like, ooh, that's a heavy intro, bro.
When it comes to comedians, then and now, Dave Chappelle is up there with being the most fearless. Yeah. Because his last few specials, he went off the deep end on some stuff. Yeah, man. And this one, he went off the deepest. Yes. And he wasn't scared to swim.
And that's the thing. I like that. And with the trans, and he had said this, so he was like, the transgender people really don't like me, and it's not all their fault. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from writing these jokes. Right. Which I guess is a joke within itself. Yeah. But he has not strayed away from that. Yeah. He had talked about that, at least in the last one. I don't remember. I want to say he's mentioned it in all 3 of the Netflix specials. And he was not shy, not shying away from it. And I think that's what people do a lot of the times, is they'll make a statement like, Michelle Monet. She'll make a statement, which ain't, well, now I guess you can't compare their statements. Never mind. Not at all. But somebody will make a statement and then back off of it because of pressure of society or whatever, even if they really believe it. Or if they're like, look, in Dave Chappelle's case, I'm a comedian, you're laughing, I've done my job. You know, he didn't shy away from that, which people tend to do, which I thought was dope.
Yeah.
He's, you know, don't be yourself. If you're gonna say it, stand on it, bro.
Right.
And he did.
Yeah, he did. There's a lot of chicken-hearted people in this country, especially when it comes to issues like that. If you're gonna be a man and say something, stand behind it. You know, don't backtrack and say, "Oh, well, I didn't mean it. I meant it this way." No, stand by your word. What you said.
Well, now if you change your mind, I mean that's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different.
See, but a lot of times when people will say something, and then when they have to, they apologize and they try to rework what they said. Now, if you just completely change your mind and say, "Never mind, I feel different," that's one thing. But if you just backtrack and tiptoeing, you know, I'm like, that's whack, bro. Just stand on it.
This is super whack.
Yeah, but I think our point is made on the Dave Chappelle thing.
Yeah.
You know, he really took controversial things that everybody is scared to touch and said, "I'm going to do it."
Right.
And wasn't scared. And my thought on stand-up comedians who push the button, I say go for it as long as there's humor in it.
Right.
Now, if you bomb, like the one lady who told the XXX Tentacion joke,
Yeah.
it wasn't a funny joke.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. But that's my opinion. It could have been funny to somebody. So my thing is, if you're going to go there and it does good, great. Dave Chappelle, great. If you're going to go there and it does bad, you signed up for that. You got to take that. And Dave doesn't seem to mind. I'll take that, you know, whether you like it or not, and I respect that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Much respect to Dave Chappelle for putting that out.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I watched it like 3 times already.
I did too. And the one line that sums up that whole show for me, that actually sums up this whole cancel culture for me, which I'm glad he addressed. The one line he said, "And if you're watching this on Netflix, just remember one thing. Beep, you clicked on my face."
On my face.
That is the biggest thing, bro.
Yeah.
You chose to watch this.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great. No hate from me. It was brilliantly put together.
Right. Brilliant.
Yeah.